Basically, these weekly favorite videos are going to be an excuse to talk about Gary Vaynerchuk at least once a week in a video. Welcome to day 55 of my 365-day vlogging experiment. This vlog is where I keep track, document, and share my business journey. And today is a favorites video. Basically, the favorites video is this. Once a week, I'm going to share my favorites and what I found throughout the week, whether it be a podcast, a blog post, a book, anything that I found in the world of fitness and that's my lifestyle blog, in the world of business and motivation. And also, as a very obvious side note, these weekly favorite videos are going to be an excuse to talk about Gary Vaynerchuk at least once a week in a video. Let's get started. I feel it's very appropriate for today to be a favorites video because if I had to vlog something, like vlog my day, it would be very much like, I think yesterday or the day before, where I'm in front of my computer brainstorming, and then I move to one side of my office and I'm brainstorming, and then I move to another side of my office and I'm frustrated that I can't get past the brainstorming. So yeah, kind of a boring thing, but that leads me into my first favorite of the week, and that is the Gary Vaynerchuk podcast or audio experience. So there's one particular podcast, I don't know where. Okay, so the episode I'm talking about, I'm not crazy about the first part of the name, it's kind of random, but How the Sausage Gets Made, Raw Strategy and Debates with Team Garyvee. Gary meets with a few members of Team Garyvee and they sit down and talk about the strategy. They get really deep into what he wants to post on his Instagram, how often he wants to post on his Instagram, what's going on with his YouTube channel, and just gets really deep into these things with his team. And on a week like this past week that I've been feeling very frustrated. I mean, hello, I almost cried in one of my vlogs. And if I could help at least one person, told myself I would never do that. Hopefully that is the first and last time that almost happens. But it's been a week where I can't seem to get my ideas all sorted out. So basically, it's just been very frustrating with not being able to know where to start, I guess, because when you have like 100 different ideas for all the different platforms and for different series and different videos and content that you want to make and produce, different things that you want to document, it's really hard to sit down and say, like, this is what I'm gonna post here, and this is when I'm gonna do that, and this is how, and by the way, it's just me and my husband, and so how are we going to handle all of that when it's just the two of us for now? And so, and a lot of times I start thinking, this can't be normal. Like, this isn't normal. Why am I taking so long? Nobody should strategize this much over something like this. But after listening to this podcast, I mean, I still think that I'm being too much of a perfectionist and I need to just get started with things. But after listening to this podcast, it was really cool to see how even somebody like Garyvee with a team, they need to sit down and strategize. There does have to be a rhyme or reason behind all this. There does have to be a strategy. And it's okay that I'm taking my time with this, especially when it's just me and my husband working on these things together. So that was number one. That particular, I mean, his whole audio experience is amazing, but that particular episode was just golden for me this week. My second favorite is something that I've been wanting to share. Actually, it isn't even directly related to business and may seem kind of random, but Will Smith's YouTube channel. He is just so amazing and his energy is just, and he is vlogging now because he is an A celebrity that doesn't think he's too fancy for YouTube, and I love that. And besides vlogging, he's also posting motivational videos, and he has a series called Storytime. And one of the videos that I really, really loved was about how he basically got checked in high school. I believe it was high school. And how he learned from that experience that he always wanted to be somebody who inspired and uplifted and helped people because of that experience. He never wanted to be that person that he was in that experience that he shared. And first of all, seeing people like Will Smith dive into YouTube and start vlogging and put themselves out there is really helpful for me as an aspiring entrepreneur and a creator, photographer, wannabe actually I'm not a wannabe filmmaker, just I wanted to learn how to do video. It's very helpful and motivating. And I also enjoy a lot of his motivational videos because they can all be applied to business. I mean, you don't get to that level by not being a hard worker and by not being persistent and consistent and putting your head down and just doing the work and hustling. So I love that, and I love the message that both of these people, Gary Vaynerchuk and Will Smith, they are so incredibly successful, and yet they seem to be very, very humble and empathetic and just like really, really cool people. So both of them are like my uncles, and they don't know it, but it's all good. They don't need to know that I exist. If I ever get to meet them one day, that would be fantastic. In the meantime, I'm going to keep enjoying their YouTube channels and the content that they put out there. Those were my favorites for the week. I gotta get some females up in here. I gotta get some, and you know what? I have a long list, but then this video would be like a 30-minute thing. So maybe next week. Next week will be like an all-female cast. I don't know, cast. An all-female list? I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure it out next week. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you tomorrow.